Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions. Live from Los Angeles.
How was San Diego?
Beautiful. Okay. It's been the best city, maybe in America.
I agree, baby.
Which means it's the best city in the world.
I love San Diego. It's somewhere you'll move.
If I had the money.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a couple years he'll be there because he will have the money.
There we go.
Tell this dude the best man in boxing. Whoever making the money in boxing, Zatel's coming.
That's right.
That's all I gotta say. So Shawn Porter, I see you cover. I actually got in an argument with somebody because they tried to tell me you were covering the aces. I said, Zatel don't cover the aces. They're like, yes, he did. I said, Zatel don't cover the aces. I was wrong.
I did one night. I don't know if that you're technically still right. It's not, okay. I don't think I earned the right to have the label I cover the aces.
Okay.
That entails like going to practices every game of the year.
Hey, Zatel is working. So in the last 24 hours, Zatel is the hardest working person in boxing because you wasn't doing nothing.
Not to be confused with the busiest man in boxing.
No, you're business
too different.
You're business too.
It's like when Shaq would say most dominant and Kobe's the greatest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how did the arena feel last night? We're talking about top rank. He ain't come from UK or nothing. That'd be crazy.
Plus even in the UK. Sorry. Get yourself together.
Oh, my bad.
Listen, shout out to Childish Gambino. I'm a big fan of yours. See that he just released a new video about 6 days ago. Little Fit Bigfoot. Can't wait to watch that. I was trying to see if we were live on our Patreon. I couldn't find it, and I ended up finding that instead. So can't wait to check out that video. Shout out to Childish Gambino. Also shout out to Shawn Zatel. Shaking and moving, big dog.
That's shaking him. I'm sorry.
You want to shout out a rapper you listen to right now? Don't know why you do that.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You know which rapper I'll shout out? He
also shout out to Lupe Fiasco. He just released a new single a couple days ago.
I'll give
Can't
a
wait
shout.
to listen to that one either.
I'll give a shout out to a guy you may have heard of, Tupac. In 2024. I'm still more invested in the Tupac Diddy beef than I am Kendrick and Drake. I still feel like that's the most relevant beef in hip hop, even though Pac's been dead for 28 years.
I think you was gonna say that.
Yeah.
It's a bit much, but go ahead. If you have one,
I got one. Hey, shout out to Mozzie, Children of the Slums. Hey, that album's on repeat right now. Big Mozzie fan.
Oh,
from the Bay.
You're a big Mozzie.
Yeah,
fan.
but I was a big Nipsey fan, R.P. Nipsey, and I went over to Mozzie.
Mozzie Smith from the Cowboys. First round pick last year.
So last night in boxing, Mozzie the rapper. Mozzie Smith, first round pick.
Well, yeah, let's handle Top Rank real quick. And I didn't see the whole card, just the main event.
Yeah.
Who was on the undercard?
Man, well, the main event really of the fight wound up being the co-main event. Brian Norman knocking out Giovanni Santillan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Giovanni got knocked out?
He did.
I got to see that.
It was a hell of a fight.
And what's the other name?
It's actually worth you going, but it was a hell of a fight.
What's the name?
Brian Norman Jr.
Brian Norman, is he
from Atlanta?
Yeah.
He's sparred some big names like Bud in the past.
Wow. I know him.
He can punch.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I didn't know if he was going to beat Santillan. I actually probably gave an edge to Santillan because Brian fought a little bit like an underachiever his last couple fights. I didn't question that he had better power than Santillan and more talent than Santillan. But someone like Santillan, he's banking on beating you with his determination, his will, and his conditioning.
Yeah.
And the problem for Santillan is Brian brought those things to the table as well.
Yeah.
And then he's the more talented fighter.
Man, listen, after I saw him beat Alexis Rocha, I said he's a fight away from being my dark horse in that division. So I'm as you can see, I'm a little surprised, and I'm definitely gonna go back and check that one out.
Well, styles make fights, and Santillan's problem is he's trying to grind down a puncher. Yeah. So he's always in the line of fire with the bigger puncher, Norman. And I think Brian Norman, he liked that. I think you'd be better served against Brian Norman boxing him than trying to take it to him and grind him down. He's got that strong Atlanta, Georgia country strength.
Yeah.
And
country strong.
And so now he and Santillan was 32-0 fighting in his hometown of San Diego. This is supposed to be his night.
Yeah.
And Brian said after the fight, I thrive off negativity. Yeah. I love going to someone's hometown and taking their SHIT.
Yeah.
So it was a breakout performance, and now he's a major player at welterweight.
Yeah.
You know, he grabbed one of Bud's 4 vacant belts. It's an interim, but it's going to be the full title. Bud's not coming back down to 47.
No.
So,
Yeah.
so big. That was really the fighter of the night. And then, I guess in the main event, Navarrete and Briedis, you saw it. Yeah. So
that one, I kind of same. Anytime I listen to Tim, I'm like, yeah, that kid is on point. Like
I text Shawn and said, "This is a nasty fight."
Yeah, he used the word nasty. Tim used the word ugly. I'm not really used to using the word nasty, so I went with ugly. It was an ugly fight. I felt like this was like a mirroring. These guys have the same style, and it was like no one could get off on the other the entirety of the fight.
I hate when Shawn always says this, but that was one of them things where matchmakers, what are you doing? You know, that's all kept replaying in my mind. Shawn Porter, matchmakers.
Talking about the matchmakers.
Because I'm like, this is terrible, bro.
Yeah.
What'd you see in the arena?
Well, you know, to defend my guys Brad and Bruce a little bit, the matchmakers, Berinchyk is ranked atop the WBO, and you know, Navarrete kind of was eating himself out of the division, so they matched him with a guy they thought he could beat to get his 4th belt in the 4th weight class, which would have made him, although everyone else who accomplished it, they unified, they won another belt besides just the WBO, but he would have joined Morales, Canelo, Juan Manuel Marquez, Jorge Arce as the only guys from Mexico to win four division belts, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And man, that fight was so much more about just Navarrete isn't cut out to be weighing in at 135. He's just like I get it. He's never been the fastest guy, but he was so much more sluggish at 35 and was so much slower at 35. When he pulled the trigger, it was just sluggish is the word to define it. And you know, he has to get back down to 130. It was like night and day compared to I was there in Arizona when he beat Valdez last year.
Yeah.
Night and day. Night and day. He is a really good fighter who's got to get back to the weights that he's optimal at. You know,
so you think that 130 is where he needs to be?
Absolutely.
Is it kind of like Mikey Garcia?
Yes.
Kind of like Mikey.
And like, well, I always, getting up to 47 too quick, and it actually reminded me like he's kind of this era. He's not as great as.
By the way, I'm not comparing Mikey and Navarrete.
Because you know Mike
truly
Mike is that guy.
That's truly night and day. But just in terms of how effective he became when he got a little bit bigger
and a little pudgy.
Yeah, if you want to say that.
Yeah. I think someone on the timeline. I think it was.
I'm still trying to get in one of his cars, so I'm not gonna call him that.
Who, Navarrete or?
No. Mikey.
Mikey.
Some zippers.
Mikey's one of the best punchers pound for pound of his era. His power was freakish at that little frame.
Yeah.
And that big hook would come out and go, wow. He had great power.
Mike's also one of the best businessmen in the sport of boxing. Came there, earned the money, did things. I seen my boy on a yacht yesterday in the video with some girl.
Trying to get on a yacht too.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Go, take me.
It's a shame we didn't see him and Lomachenko mix it up when they were
Man.
Oh, man.
Dang, we missed the moment.
That was 50-50.
Hey, I mean, Shawn always say once a guy goes up, he can't go back down. Is Navarrete disciplined enough to go back down to 130?
I think he can. Based on it looked like there was 5 pounds to lose on that frame.
His question is he disciplined though? Disciplined enough?
Well, that's on him. You know, I would think that, you know, that's in his character. He's a warrior from Mexico he certainly doesn't lack character in the ring. Even last night, he tried to empty the clip in the championship rounds and pull it out on an awful night. You know, so I would like to think he does. That he can do that.
Yeah.
And it also, man, you mentioned Mikey, Eric El Terrible Morales. He was a little bit like this, the closest thing to Morales in this era, because he's this tall guy who could get down to 22, get down to 26, get down to 30. And when Morales fought Zahir Rahim at lightweight, you probably remember that fight, right? No,
Negative.
So he fights Zahir Rahim. He's bloated and just sluggish, and he winds up getting, you know, blown out by Zahir Rahim. And so, he needs to get back down to 130 and maybe fight Foster.
Foster is streaking too. That's a tough night for. See, this was a tough night, and it was. Do you agree that these were like mimicking styles?
Not as much. I felt like yeah. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
Again, that's why I felt like it was more what Navarrete wasn't capable of at the weight. No offense to Berinchyk. Like, he did his thing. He continued the spree of the Ukrainian dominance now.
Oh, man.
Like,
Congratulations to the
yes.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
And he won the fight. You know, it wasn't in spectacular fashion.
Yeah.
He won the fight. But I didn't see, like, he's not a Lomachenko or a Usyk or even Vazdik. He didn't have the constant feint, the constant bend, the constant side to side. He was a little bit more basic compared to those guys, but still got the job done because he was a natural lightweight. Navarrete was sluggish. When Navarrete did connect, he was big enough to hold up to it, unlike smaller guys. Mm-hmm. And he really won that fight with his lead hand. Like, he didn't sit down on the brick very often. He just touched him with the lead hand, taking advantage of him opening up fat with shots, and just touched him enough with the lead hand. That short right hook, it was almost like a half jab, half hook. Yeah. And he won the fight. You know.
Hey, did you guys notice when, you know, I hate to be that guy, but I felt like he got hurt a lot by Navarrete to the body, a couple shots, but he was smart enough as soon as he got hurt, hold on, grab. What did it take, about 5-10 seconds to get over something like that, Shawn?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Maybe between 3 to 10 seconds.
Okay,
yeah.
you need that moment.
Sometimes you need the moment. Sometimes
smart
it's
fighter.
just a matter of getting your breath back, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a lot of breath out of you. You know, that's why we always talk about putting in the deposits in the bank. It's almost like your wind is up here, and the more you get punched to the body, it's like just like in the video games, you know how the
stamina meter.
Yeah, the stamina meter will go back up, and then it only goes up there, you know. So
what if Navarrete stays at 135 but get low as he can, 132, just to kind of get in shape for the fight? Would that help?
That could make sense. Nobody does that, but that makes sense.
Nobody does it.
Nobody does
because they don't have to. But if you really serious about this game,
it makes
shit like that you got to do, man.
I can't make 130. I can't kill myself to make 130, but I can work hard to get to 132.
Be in tip-top shape at 135.
Yeah, it's like, though, if you have your favorite snack in the cabinet,
man,
you gotta be this way.
If you got 2 boxes,
like
you're gonna eat 2 boxes. You got 3 boxes of it, you're gonna eat 3 boxes of it. Like, if you give a fighter, this is how much I could come in at, they're gonna get very close to the limit.
Well, not like catch weights. He's fighting at 135, but I mean, I did this. This is what my dad and I did. We were fighting at 154, but we were still coming in trying to get to 47. We were still coming in at 150. We were still coming in at 149. We were working our way down. And I always said this about fighting at 147, even though I felt like it cut into my muscle and took away the power that I had at 154, 165, the list goes on. I also felt like I was at tip-top condition that I could possibly be at 147. And that's what I feel like you're saying about him coming down to 131, 132. You're tip-top opposed to leaving at 35 right there, and then you eating up to 140 maybe. You eating up to 142, 43 maybe. Now you eating up, go down to 32, now you eating up to 138, you know, and it just makes sense. But fighters don't do that. Well, that make a lot of sense, though.
Maybe it could work because one thing he did carry up to was his power. I know, and Berinchyk was able to hold up to it, but part of it was when he pulled the trigger, he was so slow he couldn't bust them up with the same number of clean shots that he's normally able to do.
Yeah.
But I was ringside. He could still punch at lightweight. He carried the power up. Yeah.
What's this thing with falling into the ropes? I feel like you lose points just off of that, bro. Like, I'm like, if you fall like a Shawn Porter, he gaining points just because he like goes all back into the ropes. What's that about?
Well, that's always been. That's part of his effectiveness, though. Is that chin's in the air? It's so daring. Take a swing. That chin's in the air, but this guy can punch out of that angle with his feet crossed and his chin in the air back. Bam!
That's when I said it was mimicking styles. That's what Navarrete does. He punches on all these.
Oh, that's what I thought he was talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
But the guy, he was doing the same thing though. He was punching on like angles that apparently Navarrete is not used to seeing come at him. You know,
Ukrainian style.
Yeah. So I felt like he was punching on different angles and, you know, bringing the back foot forward and a lot like Navarrete does and things like that. And to me, it just seemed like he got a taste of his own medicine last night. It was a close fight, you know. But I had Berinchyk winning the fight too.
got to taste his own awkward medicine.
Yeah.
Just in a different.
Just in like a
format.
different package. Yeah.
It's just he actually keeps his hands up, so it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't look as awkward as what Navarrete does.
Yeah.
So,
But overall, it was a good night over there, though.
it was a good night. Richard Torrez knocked out Brandon Moore.
Nice.
They tried to build that up.
Yeah, Brandon Moore. He's a likable guy. He started boxing in his 20s.
Okay.
And so credit to him for making it this far, getting to 14-0 and fighting an Olympian when you started at like 24, I think it was. So I give the man credit. But man, Torrez, I've always said he's got some Shawn Porter in him.
Yeah, that's what everybody says.
In that he's gonna be
Dog.
a dog, yeah. And he may be shorter than most of his opponents, but he knows how to make up for that. And he said after the fight he looks up to Usyk a lot, and that's the guy he needs to just keep studying because he's similar frame.
Absolutely.
That boy is big though, Torrez. He may not be the tallest guy, but he is strong as a bull. In his legs.
Know this kid. Met him before from Florida.
Which
Brandon Moore.
Yeah.
Met him before.
You ain't helping win the fight last night?
No. Nothing I can do about that. Nothing I can do about
I
that.
knew that was coming.
But yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. Something that I don't know if a lot of fighters do outside of the biggest names. Every fighter's watching Floyd. Every fighter's watching Muhammad Ali. Every fighter's watching Sugar Ray Leonard, the big names. But, and not saying that Oleksandr Usyk isn't a big name, but, our fighters outside of the Ukraine, are they looking at, man, I'm gonna be a smaller heavyweight like this guy, like let me check him out. I'm gonna be a cruiserweight like this guy, let me check him out, or is it you still looking at Mike Tyson, or you still looking at Evander Holyfield because that's what you aspire to be, he to me has become a fighter that just about any weight class can look at and take something from
Usyk.
Usyk, yes sir, because he has a style and a technique that kind of crosses over a lot of the weight classes, just like he did, as a professional.
Yeah, and Richard said that he looks up to him as like an idol or as one of his idols right now. And I like what he said. He said, "I'm gonna mix some of." Why does my phone keep doing that? I'm so sorry.
You good?
He said, "I'm gonna mix."
No, you ain't good.
I'm not.
Turn it off.
I thought I did.
He got two phones.
Do the thing where you make it go on mute.
Hey, I don't got that on my phone.
It's on mute. It's on mute.
Where is it?
Come on, man,
Yeah.
keep going. This guy. That's a Metro PC. You'll never find it.
A Metro PCS. I've been with it for 15 years. Shout out to Metro PCS.
Shout out to
I'm here for a sponsorship.
Let's go.
He said, "I'm gonna mix some of that Ukrainian style from Usyk with the Mexican style." So I like that. I think if he really pursues that and he could combine Usyk's lead hand feints and pressure and his conditioning and pace with some bombs. Usyk landed a bomb on Fury and dropped him last night, but Torrez likes to throw bombs, and so and he's got the legs to do it.
Yeah.
So he could be a bad boy, man. Watch out for Richard Torrez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And not afraid of growing and not afraid of learning, which I absolutely love. That's what I loved about the whole Olympic squad. It's almost Olympic time, so we're gonna start pulling that into the show as well.
When you start doing that?
What you mean?
Are you doing anything with them this year?
They picked me up to do it this year, but it's the gold medal rounds are the same weekend as the Hall of Fame out here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So we still, I hate to miss it, but I might have to.
You got to go to your Hall of Fame.
I'm not going.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. That's some PorterWay stuff to do, though. He'll have his son go up on, there for my dad.
My dad, good.
No. You got to go. You the one that looks most like you.
My dad looks
No. I mean, should I?
I like him as a person too.
Should I?
Of course, but Richard Torrez,
Richard,
good person.
Listen,
I love if he can be a world champion. I love what you could do with him. He has no limits. He don't give up.
We gonna get to the main event in Saudi.
Okay.
But he's sort of a mix of
Those two guys.
Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Not as extreme as Tyson Fury, and maybe not as professional or as straight edge
Skilled,
for the sake of words.
Yeah.
And skilled as Oleksandr Usyk, but a lot of what you see from both those guys, you know, in terms of both personality, in ring, out of ring, you get that with the young man. Let me salute Richard Torrez. I do like him. He's a good
Yeah, he's a
Good dude.
character. It's funny.
dude. Yeah. Saudi. I gotta talk. What the hell happened to Frank Sanchez?
I think, man, he should have understood. Floyd Mayweather once told Devin Haney, I swear to God, I put it on me. Floyd Mayweather once told Devin Haney, keep guys on the outside, but some guys you're not going to be able to do that. They're just going to cut they're going to cut the distance, and you're going to have to fight. Mm-hmm. And that's what Frank Sanchez didn't grasp last night.
Yeah.
He won round one with his jab.
Yeah.
But this guy, you're not getting him off. You're sharper than him. You're faster than him. You need to get off in the pocket. And he kept trying to box, and before he knew it, he was getting broken down.
I had him win round one.
Yeah.
But something ain't right, man. He didn't look like Frank Sanchez in the first round. And he never became Frank Sanchez. I never saw the flash the entire fight. That's not common, man. What I know about Cuban fighters, they're very systematic. Who they are and what they do is who they're going to be and what they're going to do, no matter who's in front of them. They'll win, lose, get knocked out, knock you out, whatever to get a draw, whatever the case may be, but they're going to do it being who they are. I didn't see Frank Sanchez yesterday. That bothered me.
Some people have off nights, Sean. You've been in a ring where you probably had off night. I know you.
Cubans don't have off.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Cubans don't have off nights.
I mean,
I was upset. And I'm gonna tell you why.
I see. I see. We seen the tweets.
Because Luis Ortiz should have been the first heavyweight world champion from Cuba. He just never got his opportunities.
Well, he got the opportunity. He
never got his opportunities until he became a little older.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And his time, he was in his time, and he never got it, and it passed him by. So I was like, all right, we got Frank Sanchez. And I was like,
"Are you Cuban?"
I'm not Cuban, but I
okay.
sound like Carson, don't I?
Yeah. I was double check.
You know me, like I always root for the underdog. At this point in time, in the heavyweight division, Cubans are not. They don't have the prestige that they have in boxing. They have it in the amateur ranks, but they don't have it in the professional ranks like every other weight class that has become with Cubans filling in those weight classes. And so I just said, I'm holding on to Frank. Frank's the guy. And I feel, at the end of that, I feel like you feel when you feel like you picked the fight wrong. Yeah. And so I feel like I picked the wrong fight.
Over Frank Sanchez on the undercard. Not any of the big main events you may have missed.
It hurt to see it. And I was
could
like,
tell.
Yeah. And then when the body shots came, I was like, you're not looking Cuban right now to me, man.
Well, what's frustrating is like if he had stayed in the pocket and got and exchanged, punched in between Kabayel's punches, he's the sharper, more compact, guy. But Kabayel was just loose and he was just loose. It was not like there was a lot of snap or speed or he was sitting down on everything, but he fought at a good pace.
Bad time to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Well, some people said something about his knee brace. Maybe his knee was giving him issues. He also looked very muscle bound, maybe too muscle bound.
He was a little bit bigger last night than I'm used to seeing him too.
I don't know if you guys noticed. He also cut his hair.
No, I
Did he?
didn't
I didn't
notice
notice that. He's bald now.
He did have a little thing.
That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, what's going on, Frank? What's going on, Frank?
So you're saying the swag was off.
Yeah. Hey, what Dion say? Come on, get me. Come on. I need
What you got?
Play good, look good. Come on. Look good, play good.
Look good, play good, baby.
And that's Cuban. Yeah, that's Cuban swag right there.
Yeah. So. Main event?
Oh, with it? Because Jai Opetaia. Okay, real quick, but you saw Jai Opetaia, right?
Yes, sir.
I gave him a nickname during the fight.
Okay.
He was
you
fighting.
You people nicknames recently.
I know. He's fighting like. I hope they're not all corny. Most of them probably are.
Come on.
But the Usyk. Uso is, small. Okay, it's just corny. That's all.
No. You gotta explain it. After you say it, you gotta explain it.
He was fighting a lot like in terms of the feints and the constant feigning, the constant bending down, the constant feigning, constantly looking for lead foot positioning. It was in that sense. It was like Usyk. So yeah.
I didn't catch that in the moment, but yeah, I mean I cannot agree with that. There are a lot of sentiments in terms of him being a
Southpaw
southpaw and a lot of that as
Yep.
well. Yeah. They had fought each other before. I
didn't know
didn't
that.
watch the first fight, but they had fought each other before.
Oh, Mairis
so-
Briedis, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
thought,
this,
yeah.
So this was a somewhat of a rematch, and I kept waiting on. Like I was thinking, like Briedis, you gotta turn it on, man. You gotta turn it on. He finally turned it on in the last 2 rounds, and I literally thought he might pull it off. He didn't get Oso out of there, but Oso's a really good boxer.
He had a good, like, I understood his game plan. It was smart.
Yeah,
it just didn't work.
extremely smart.
It's Uso.
Usyk.
Uso,
Don't get us
excuse
jumped
me.
by some.
It just didn't. Well, I know those. I wouldn't mess with
They don't-
Samoans. Yeah.
Shout out to Chris Gorman. Shout out Chris Gorman because that's Polynesian.
Kicking it with my
that's Polynesian
this is
school.
my brethren now.
Yeah,
man.
all
I've
right,
been kicking it with
all
them
right.
for a minute now.
Oh, who? Oh yeah.
All of them.
Sean in there. I forgot.
They look right
They
now.
call
They
him
looking at like,
Unc.
he always messing up.
They
our
call
names.
you Unc, huh?
No, they don't
don't
call
call
me
you
Unc.
Unc? No, they call
Nah,
me
they don't
Unc.
call me Unc. Nah.
Yeah, but Briedis, what he did, what his game plan was smart. It just wasn't. It didn't work, and it wasn't entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
But what he was trying to do was, I know I can't beat this kid 1 through 12. He's too fresh, young, little too fast. I gotta make him be anxious, burn himself out a little bit, and make him reach for something, and then take it. And he did that, but
Yeah.
too little, too late.
Yeah, too little, too late.
And it's like I was looking up. The fight kind of went the same way the first fight. UD 116, 112. It's just like Shawn said. The second fights will always be better in rematches. Like he needs to do something better, especially if you're the loser.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you over adjust. I would say.
Over adjust. I like that expert.
I feel like
yeah, that's kind of true.
what the fuck I didn't do.
It's kind of true.
Especially if I didn't get the results on the scorecards. But
Yeah,
I think he was fighting for a knockout in his own way. Like, I know I'm not gonna beat this guy in enough rounds. So
I think he called him in the first fight too.
Yeah.
So there was, another. He was probably also expecting that moment as well. So
Yeah, Opetaia is the ring champ, considered the best cruiserweight in the world. Let's see if he can become undisputed. Fight Zerto. Him and Zerto, like that fight. Yeah, I think he beat Zerto. But shout out to Zerto.
I do too. I think he beat Zerto.
Yeah,
He's got too much.
Zerto started at 68.
He's more dynamic than Zerto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and naturally bigger. So
Main event.
hell of a fight.
Did you watch on your phone? Did you watch on your laptop?
laptop.
Okay.
I did the round by round.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
was like-
realized I was on my phone and I was like, "Yo, can we get this on the TV?" You get it on the TV and it's just a little bit different.
Oh, was
from
it? I
being
watched
on-
it on the phone.
Yeah, you ain't see what we saw.
That's probably why I don't.
You-
Hell of a fight. I didn't realize this Tyson Fury first loss. And I didn't realize, when did he beat Anthony Joshua? Usyk. Am I tripping? When did that happen?
He beat him twice.
When?
We did a show about you.
When
Were
we
there.
did?
Like 2 years.
I was like, wow, he beat him?
Yeah.
His list of accomplishment in heavyweight division is impressive, Shawn. You've been around it for a while. I know Evander's one of the guys you think one of them did it kind of his way. What can you say about the way he's done it?
Oh man.
The way he became, this is the first undisputed?
I don't know if a fighter. Yeah, no, second. He was undisputed cruiserweight champion.
No, I'm saying heavyweight.
Oh, in the 4-belt era.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. First undisputed champ since Lennox Lewis.
Damn.
Yeah.
But the way he did it, man, how impressive. He fought everybody.
I think he's I tweeted this too after the fight. I may, me personally, I may find Crawford or Inoue stylistically more aesthetically pleasing to me or whatever. But Usyk, in my opinion, has to be number 1 pound for pound, because what he just did is kind of the equivalent as if Inoue moved up and beat Tank or Crawford moved up and beat Canelo. He beat a man and dropped a man 40 pounds heavier than him and half a foot taller than him.
Wow.
If that ain't pound for pound.
Yeah, that is pound for pound.
And I don't know a fighter off top of my head who accomplished as much as he has in 22 fights. Undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight, beating some Hall of Famers. The gold medal doesn't count in those 22 professional fights, but just to put that on top of it too, I think he should retire soon, because all that's left to do is lose.
Yes.
He should crowd surf all the way back home to Ukraine and maybe just have one kind of easy title defense in front of like 50,000 people in Ukraine and call it a day.
What, get a tune-up with Deontay Wilder?
Let's see how Deontay
dangerous.
looks in 2
That's
weeks.
dangerous.
Yeah, if he still has, he might.
I'm
but,
trying to think. Andy, that's dangerous.
yeah, no, I'm saying like
Frank Sanchez? I keep going.
he could fight
Jared Miller?
Kabayel.
Oh, you
Not that Kabayel's, a slouch. I mean, he knocked out Sanchez. He knocked out what was that? Makhmudov, the Russian too. But I think Usyk, maybe not even Kabayel, just someone he can beat and put on a concert at home. Basically,
Bro,
he could even vacate the belts if he wants. But
to have Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua twice, Jarek Chisora, Tony, this is impressive, bro.
Tony Bellew.
Yeah, this is impressive. Daniel Dubois, some say he got lucky. He got out there with one. But, man, Usyk has had a hell of a career. I wasn't sure if he could do it, I'm going to be honest. I just thought I always like to go with the bigger skill guy over the smaller skill
Great
guy.
big man beats
The size to me was the only thing that kept me feeling like I don't know if he can pull it off. Now, when we talk about X's and O's to this fight, we got to look at, you fast forward all the way to the end, because I know we'll kind of go through it, but you fast forward to the end, maybe like the 9th or the 10th round, we can see both guys was really gassed out. One thing we know about Usyk is that he got a gas tank.
Yep.
But it took so much, and I knew it was gonna take. It's gonna take so much to get to this big man. And like I would always say with my dad, he said one combination to set him up, the next combination to put him where you want him to be, and then the third combination just to get there and start working. He said one
Earl fight. Everything you need had.
But when you do that, it pulls so much out of you. And I felt like I said, man, I don't know if he's gonna be able to do what it take round after round and have enough at the end of the fight. He of course had enough at the end of the fight, but both of them was really gassed. But we could see one thing we know about Usyk is that he got a hell of a gas tank, and we could see at the end of the fight he was sucking wind because it took so much for him to compete against this big man. I was like, I don't know if he can do it. Obviously he did it, but I was right in thinking that I don't know if you can maintain that kind of energy and everything that's required in terms of your punch output, movement, list goes on, and manage to beat Tyson Fury, who you ain't even know didn't have no loss. Like, the man's undefeated and skillful and big and fast and know how to use his jab and know how to move. I just thought it was too much.
But that's the reason why you should never allow somebody else to put their expectations on you. Like, they lower, like, you can't do it just because you think you can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
I can do whatever I want.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he's the world champion now, undisputed.
Yeah.
We talked about the fight, in our predictions, and I said that's why I picked Usyk to win was he the stamina and I think Fury has deteriorated just enough to give Usyk this win. And I do think Fury, I think his peak was that second Wilder fight. And on that night, he was an all-time great heavyweight. I think on his best night, like that night, he probably would have been too much for Usyk. But those wars and the deterioration wasn't showing up in his skills or in his speed. It showed up in punch resistance and in a little bit of desire. And you can't only go to the well so many times. It catches up to you getting dropped by Ngannou and Wilder. That third Wilder fight, Wilder took his pound of flesh. But the hardest part for Usyk was, in order to exploit that, he had to get him to deep waters. And that was the hardest. But once he got him there, I knew Usyk would have the advantage because he hasn't taken as much punishment. He's fighting with more determination because he has more to fight for with what's going on in Ukraine and everything. That candle has been burnt a little bit for Fury, and it showed up in the championship rounds. So, I was going to say something else.
Now, the fourth or fifth round, I said Fury's on cruise control. For a fifth round, I thought Usyk had nothing for him.
And then
he made adjustments.
Uppercut at one point. I think it was the fifth round, might have been.
He took away that angle that Usyk loves.
And he went to a Fury zone where he was just playing with him on his stuff, getting off. But then Usyk made adjustments. It was about 8th or 10th round.
It was the 9th round. Right. Check this out. I had 5-2 for Fury. And I was like, I don't know what adjustment Usyk can make. This is my live tweet. I don't know what adjustment Usyk can make. And I said, you know what? A punch we haven't seen from Usyk is the overhand left or a hooking overhand left. 9th round, he throws that punch, lands it.
Is that the one when he falls all in the corner?
9th round. I called it. I said, this is the punch we ain't seen from him. He throws it, he lands it, and has this man on silly street like I ain't never seen before.
At that moment, Mark Nelson, I mean, it's a world championship fight, undisputed. What do you do?
Shout out to Mark Nelson. Mark Nelson, that boy.
Hey, and a couple times, I always pay attention to refs because you always talk about the dude that
earlier in the fight, I said, Mark, get out the way.
He knocked Fury and he went into the ropes, and Mark actually kind of was like this, and Usyk like moved him out the way.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
It's a moment where he's walking to him, and Mark he's like move, and he just keeps going, and Mark keeps. I don't know if he's trying to get up in there and like time it to slow it down.
Do you know the quote the official rule for when you get punched and you fall into the ropes?
No, not by the book, but to cut the referee some slack, although it could have just been he was helping the A side a little bit, like we've seen referees do the A sides a little bit in the last year or two. But there was some gray area there. It was like, is the ropes holding him up, or was he ultimately going to stand up, but he's still staggering?
There was some gray area.
The minute there was no more gray area, like, no, those ropes are now holding him up. Then he jumped in and called the knockdown.
So the deal is, if a punch lands on a fighter and that fighter falls into the ropes, if the ropes weren't there, would the fighter hit the canvas?
Right.
If a referee, because I talked to him about it yesterday. I personally felt like he did a terrific job. I thought he handled it precisely. You're right. Like there may have been some moments, gray moments, where it's like
it could have or couldn't have.
He's falling, but was it a punch? Should I get in there? Should I not? I felt like he just did a great job. And that punch that lands and Fury goes into the ropes, it's the ref's discretion. This is what he said to me. It's the ref's discretion to determine if the ropes weren't there, would the fighter have hit the canvas? And by right, he did the right thing by stepping in and giving a standing 8 count. I personally feel like standing 8 counts need to be in professional boxing because, as you can see, an 8 count gave us a great ending to a fight. Whereas there are other refs that may have been in there seeing Fury's hands down. You're completely helpless. In some respects, he could have even stopped the fight because he was completely helpless, stumbling around, and he did not stop the fight. Instead, through his discretion, decided to give a standing 8 count, and we got a great, 3 or 4 more rounds after that because he did what I personally I think I know needs to be done. And then after speaking to him, I said, yeah, you made the right call, and I understand the rule. As I understand the rule, you then explained it to me through text, and now I understand that my thought processes were right because I know that this referee did what I thought he should have done, and then he explained to me why. And so I thought that he did a great job. I know some people out there that feel like he saved Tyson Fury. You was like, yo, you could have been helping the A side at some point.
Well, he said that.
But there were great. But you were insinuating it.
Hey, you a lawyer or something?
There was some gray areas right there, man. All in all, he did a great job.
Yeah.
And because my wife was watching and she was like, should he have stepped in there? I said, yeah, look, because he would have hit the canvas if the ropes weren't there. She said, oh, okay. I said, but a lot of refs would have stopped the fight. I said, look, he didn't stop the fight, and now we got a great ending. I said, Fury looks fresh. My brother said, Fury crazy. He gonna come out the next round like nothing happened. That's kind of how he came out, like nothing happened.
And thank God Usyk won. Otherwise, this would have been hell.
Sometimes I be wanting to give people the finger. I can't get a finger. I don't know who scored this fight for Fury. But
that was crazy.
All respect, and I understand what Fury was saying after the fight, but he did not win on any scorecard.
Yeah, that straight left-handed a body early in the fight paid dividends for Usyk. He started off with that right away.
And then he ended up setting up the overhand left.
Yeah, he wouldn't take no for an answer, man. Usyk, or when Fury made that little adjustment, cutting off that angle and hitting him with the uppercut, he thought okay, I got him now.
Yeah.
But Usyk was like, I'm not going to let you settle into the pace you want. I'm going to make you work. I'm going to test that engine.
Yeah.
And
So, I mean, overall, it ended up being a great fight. My last prediction that I made before the fight started, I said, this is going to be an ugly fight. I think Fury is going to punch and hold, and kind of cruise his way to a victory with punching and holding. I felt like as the older fighter who's been in some wars, you've done everything you could do at this point. You're still undefeated. Why not make it an ugly fight that you win because you land the first punch on the way in and you tied up? So I just thought that was going to be the quote-unquote smart strategy for Tyson Fury and the team. I'm grateful that they didn't come into the ring with that strategy. They came into the ring with a strategy to show that they were the best and they could win this fight. They unfortunately lost. I thought the decision was legitimate that he lost the fight, but I think we're going to get an interesting rematch.
You know, okay, and I'll with Fury, that's the thing. I don't know, man. He's playing with fire, continuing to fight. You know better than anyone. Like, he has been dropped by Ngannou and Wilder and Cunningham, and there's only so much your body can take. And I think, he's convinced himself it's just a boxing match, win or lose, one man wins, one man loses. I think now that he's lost, it hurts, obviously. And it's you don't just come back because of pride. Yeah. Have an honest assessment about where your body's at with this stuff at this point, because it's nothing, if it's you don't have to fight Joshua, you don't have to do a Usyk rematch. Yeah. If your body's had enough, it's okay to go home. You've done some great things. You're a Hall of Fame fighter, right? So he's playing with fire, continuing to fight, because I don't think it, even if it's in his spirit and in his mind, and he gives it his body might not allow him to do the things he's done before.
I agree 100%.
Is this the most skilled guy he's faced, Fury?
Yeah.
These are the most skilled guys at heavyweight too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
Officially now number 1 and number 2.
I think you got to favor Joshua over Fury now. A few years ago, Fury, but Joshua's got the momentum right now, and I think he's got more in the tank than Fury right now.
You think? Do you think a fight with Usyk looks different now?
With Joshua?
Yeah.
It might, but why in the world would Usyk take that fight if
He
you're
wouldn't,
Usyk?
but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'd give Joshua a real chance, the way he's been looking lately.
Yeah. Like restored confidence, restored kind of everything. I wish I had this the second time I fought him because this is how I would be now.
And a certain level of meanness.
Yeah.
I think Joshua's fighting his best he's ever fought right now.
Damn.
So if Usyk retires, I think Joshua's the best heavyweight right now.
I don't like, I've said this before with Antt, I don't like retiring people on this show. I don't like saying, this is it. Sometimes I feel like I just know and it comes out. Rather than retire Tyson Fury on the PorterWay Podcast, let's just make it clear yet again. And I'll go at it from this angle, and then I'll let you take over, and then obviously, of course, you could take over as well. I got into a back and forth with someone who's in the MMA UFC space. Which one is safer, UFC or boxing? I said, clearly boxing's safer. Clearly. What are you talking about? We're not getting hit with elbows and knees and things like that. He said, think about it. You guys will get concussed in the second round of a fight, and you're fighting with a concussion for another 10 rounds. He said, UFC fight ain't but 5 minutes. And if you get concussed and you're on the ground, they call a fight off. It's a 5-round fight. That's it. There's no way. This is what the guy says. There's no way that UFC isn't safer than boxing. I didn't completely agree, but I definitely saw you're right. There's a lot of fighters that fight with concussions and go through one fight, let alone what we know that Tyson Fury was concussed in the third fight with Tyson Fury. We know you got dropped.
Tyson Fury's concussed versus...
Sorry,
Wilder?
Tyson Fury. Yes. We know that Tyson Fury suffered the concussion. No matter, I can't tell medium, mild, and intent. I don't know.
Hey, I know a fighter that got concussed and kept fighting.
Don't be pointing at me. Don't be pointing at me.
Earl Spence.
I ain't never been concussed, baby.
This motherfucker got up jumping.
Ain't never been concussed, baby. Right.
You probably fought 2 rounds against Keith Thurman, not knowing what's going on.
That's not
just
true.
Fighting. Yeah, look at it. Just fighting. Just all
he said not knowing what was going on.
Hey, you came back in the 10th round like, I'm in a fight.
But listen, in the heavyweight division, I've said this time and time again, the heavyweight division, that punch is a little bit different. Yeah. You're right. At the end of the day, he now needs to really assess his life, his body, his spirit, his hunger. The list goes on. I do love what he said about praising God and the good, and then he said, "Hey, I have a loss and I still got to praise God." So I do love hearing him say that. Not people don't know how to, maintain, after losses and things of that nature. So I did appreciate that.
Do these guys need to get out here before Big Baby comes?
Anderson?
He's coming.
That's the thing.
I hope he coming.
Usyk should.
coming.
He's coming.
I know you say we shouldn't retire people, but Usyk should retire. He's done everything. All that's left to do is lose. That is the one fight I'm interested in, even though Jared isn't exactly prepared for it.
No.
He's dumping up too many levels.
Have the
but
experience.
But I like the size matchup. Jared's actually a little bigger, and he's usually the smaller guy at heavyweight.
Really fun heavyweight fight.
It is. It's just Jared is probably too green for it right now.
A little too young.
But I'd like to see it, But to your point about boxing, MMA, there have been 20 deaths in regulated MMA contests since 2000 and 33 in boxing. So
Jesus. They're both dangerous.
Yeah.
When you lose one person, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Let's cap up. Let's cap.
Yeah, because we got DJ Zamora waiting. So,
He ain't got time for this. He ain't got time for this. He got things to do, okay? He got to go spar somebody. He got to fight with.
Right, yeah, go spar after this.
Spar you?
Nah, I ain't sparring me, damn it. Let's cap it real quick. Just last thoughts on this fight, man. Go ahead. If you have any.
Man,
where does this go down as one of the top heavyweight fights? Where you put it at?
I didn't think it was like some sustained great fight, 1 through 12. I thought there was great suspense, intenseness throughout, and then it had a climax with the knockdown, and it had great ebbs and flows. I thought Usyk got off to an early good start, and then Fury made the adjustment, and I thought, he may have just figured Usyk out here, because Usyk. Fury's more improvisational, more dynamic, smoother. And Usyk is a little stiffer, and he does the same things over and over again, but he does it so well. And really, usually Usyk's adjustment is to take it to another gear. Just take everything he does and take it up a notch. It's not so much that he does something different. So then when Fury started to escape out to his left, touch with the jab, and walk him into the uppercut, it was like, he may have figured you out.
Yeah.
But Usyk wouldn't be denied.
Yeah.
So... No, I just think this might be the only other fight that came to mind is Holyfield turning the tables on Riddick Bowe in their rematch. This is probably the greatest little man beating a big man in the heavyweight division that I can remember.
I'm going to read this real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this because I had a conversation with Jim Lampley. We weren't able to get him on today, but I'm sure we'll have him on again another time. I asked him if he was okay with me reading this, and he said he was. He said, let me find it. He said 53 years ago, Ali versus Frazier.
Yeah.
He said 50. In terms, you said I don't remember another big man, small man. So
yeah.
He said 53 years ago, Ali and Frazier fought a strikingly similar fight with an eerily similar result. Usyk, the worker bee, is his generation smoking Joe. Fury is like Ali in every way, the bigger figure, but not the winner of the first fight. One knockdown, just like tonight, wild, historic, noble, and unforgettable. I felt like the fight was, in a lot of ways, wild, especially that 9th round with Fury going all over the place. Historic, obviously, we know, undisputed. Noble, I mean.
Yeah.
And I don't know if unforgettable. Is it not unforgettable?
Well, who was... remember I said last week, who's Tyson Fury named after?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson. Yeah. Who is Oleksandr Usyk always compared to, coming from cruiserweight to heavyweight?
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
So
Holyfield, the humble warrior, overcame the big brash superstar.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you want to hit him back with Mike Tyson versus Evander?
Not so much. I mean, Tyson didn't, wind up biting any ears. But just in terms of he was named after Mike Tyson. He was the heavy favorite. He's the superstar.
Yeah.
Usyk, and I know Tyson's God-fearing man too, but Usyk, like the humble, God-fearing former cruiserweight, supposed to lose to this bigger puncher, and he got it done.
Yeah.
My man Shawn was getting so disrespected in my house last night. I said, yeah, Shawn beat that guy. Shawn beat him? Like, yeah. How big is he? I'm like, he like my size. How big is Tyson? I'm like, it's like fighting my big brother. My big brother like 6'10".
Yeah.
Shawn beat him? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And the amateurs. She was not trying to give you no credit, man.
Yeah. Quick story, then we'll let our guests come in. But promise y'all, we gonna find this video. Me and Zattel, we gonna get back on our mission. Colorado
Y'all been
Springs.
looking for that?
Send me a Brenagh.
Y'all been looking
No,
for
just
this?
kidding.
We're going to get back on that mission, and we're going to find a video of my fight with Oleksandr Usyk. And now I don't know what we're going to do with after that, other than watch it, him and I. But
Upload it to my channel.
165. Right. 165. I'm roughly 5'7" now. I was pretty much that then. Usyk not as tall as he is now, but definitely around that 6 foot. Slim at 165. He's very slim, but could box. Southpaw and could box. It was a really good boxing match. Back in the day, we were on a point system where 3 out of 5 judges had to hit a button at the same time in order for you to get points. In the amateurs, a lot of punches landed, not as many points scored. Just how it went. Wow, Porter won by a score of 23-20. So that really validates what I was about to say. It was a close fight the whole way. And if you can imagine, it was 4 2-minute rounds. We both scoring more than some 20 points in 4 2-minute rounds.
Yeah.
But that's how it went. But it was a close fight the whole way. But it was like a 2 to 3 point spread the whole way. I don't remember who was winning each round, but I do remember this. Going into the last round, my dad was coaching me, and we had the other guy. Shout out to Dan Campbell. He was the 2008 Olympic coach. He's down on the floor, putting the stool in, putting the bucket in, putting the water in.
He coaches the Lions now, too, by the way. No.
Not saying too much. Oh, yeah, I got you. Different name. Not saying too much. But going into the 4th round, before I walked out, before the bell rang, he said, hey, Shawn, if you line him up, he's there for the right hand. You throw it straight right, you'll land it, you'll get him. And that's exactly what happened in the 4th round. We moving around, we doing our thing, and I landed a right hand on Usyk, and he stumbled back. And Shawn Porter, who y'all already know, I jumped on him and ended up winning 23-20. It was a great, that fight, I promise y'all, for an amateur fight, it's worth paying for, man. I remember it was a great competitive fight.
You'll pay for that tape if somebody find it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll mark that. I'll deal that. Hey, y'all hit me up. We can work out a deal. We'll get it.
When y'all talk about being great in this sport, it comes from being great as amateurs. It comes from having a lot of determination, going through things, and it starts in the amateurs. And on that note, we can bring the young men in. A lot of us that y'all see as great professionals, we were always great amateurs, and we were always competing against other great amateurs. A lot like this young man who's coming in did as well. And at the end
Didn't know
of
we
the
were
day,
gonna be on the show together. I was on the same flight as him in San Diego.
Oh, that's
going
what's
home.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what's up.
Go ahead, brother.
And listen, man, at the end of the day,
Make sure you share your mic with them, man.
yes, sir.
Good to see you, bro.
At the end of the day, man, I'm just happy to be able to do a lot of the things I've done a lot against a lot of other great fighters, some professionals, and obviously Oleksandr Usyk in the pros. Congratulations to Oleksandr Usyk, and congratulations to the Ukraine. They got 3 world champions. Is it 4? 3? 3 world champions right now in the Ukraine, and that to me is amazing, especially everything that they're going through. All that being said, Big DJ, how you doing, boss?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me.
I don't know why you're here.
These people connected with me. We made it happen.
No,
I'm gonna need that back too.
Yeah. No. You
Do I put this right here?
They can hear me.
you want me to?
Hello?
No. They can hear me.
Oh,
I'm loud enough.
Just lean in when you talk.
How you feeling?
I feel good.
What's your professional record right now?
13-0.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah.
And how many years?
It's gonna be 5. I turned pro when I was 16.
Oh snap! It's been 5 years already.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't realize it's been you turned pro 5 years ago, and you've been sparring with everybody in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually sparred.
I don't
Not too
remember. I
long
told him. I
ago.
said I don't remember being in the ring with you.
We got the film. No, we don't.
You were getting ready to fight Spence the first time before it got delayed. We only sparred like
No, it had
twice.
to be Keith then,
No.
cause my fight with Earl didn't get delayed.
No.
My fight with Keith did, but my fight with Earl didn't.
Well, I know you were definitely getting ready to fight Spence.
Okay.
so,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that at Barry's where you sparred him?
Yeah, it was.
You did start at camp early. Spence.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sparred out here, then I went, and then came back. Okay. Yeah.
Was he sparring Raheem the same day?
No,
Right.
he was sparring. I think it was Denys
Dennis Douglas.
Dennis
Yeah.
Douglas. Yeah.
At Barry's. Okay.
Wow.
I might have been there.
I used Raheem for Sebastian Fundora.
Okay.
That's when we used Raheem.
But you never fought Sebastian Fundora.
Yeah.
No, huh? Excuse me, Sebastian Formella. Excuse me.
Formel. Oh,
Excuse me,
okay.
excuse
All
me,
right.
excuse
Okay.
me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my fault.
Hey man, what got you in the boxing? I seen you did my research on you. Seen you was playing football early on.
Yeah, I did. I played football when I was a little kid, but my dad actually had brought me to the Mayweather summer boxing program when I was about 7 years old, and that's kind of where it really started. At first it was just kind of teaching me how to defend myself and stuff, but once I turned 8, and my dad was like, "Oh, you should, try to fight. First amateur fight."
He just told you. He didn't ask you.
Well,
my dad started
of course
training me.
he asked me, but
Oh, okay. When I was 5 years old, my dad started training me, and then just took me to get my boxing book when I turned 8. He didn't ask me if I wanted to fight. So
yeah, so ever from my first fight, I think it was, just made that connection and really developed a passion for it.
And I feel like I've known you since you was about 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah. I think you used to train at our gym.
Yeah, I come over to train with you guys a little bit here and there and stuff like that.
On the east side, is that right? Like, was that gym by Boulder Highway, or is it a different gym thinking about?
No, it was pound for pound.
Pound for pound.
Richie,
Yeah.
with Rich.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't, we got some pictures of them together as a baby boy.
Oh, you sent them a picture?
Yeah, I was like, look at these guys.
Yeah.
But man, we had some of the big names co-sign you: Floyd Mayweather, Ryan Garcia. Everybody co-signed you really early. What is it about your game, man? That everybody look. You remember that picture? Look behind. You remember that picture?
Yep. That's actually still on my Instagram.
Yeah,
Young
that's
man.
Yeah.
He's a young man.
Oh, yep.
That's the
Those
whole
my
fam
brothers
right
right
there.
there.
Everybody fight?
No,
Okay.
they play football.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
You think?
Go ahead.
You think part of your dad saying like let's continue pursuing this is that you were showing talent even really early on, and that was part of it too. Like you could really do this. So
I
let's
think
stick
so.
to it.
Also, Roger Mayweather, he had saw me at the summer camp, and he had asked my dad. He was like, I want to train your son. And from there he started training me like personally, and we would do mitts and stuff, and that's how the video of me and Roger hitting mitts and Floyd was in the ring with us on YouTube. Yeah. That's how that whole thing got brought up. But I think I definitely showed like glimpses of talent when I was younger, and probably another reason why they decided to. And I decided as well to keep going with it. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit for any for those that don't know a little bit of your amateur accolades. I know you're 13-0 now, and we'll get to that in just a second. But let everybody know the experience you got.
I didn't have the 200, 300 amateur fights that some people have, but I had about 65 amateur fights. I won, I don't know, maybe 9 national titles, and I've had 13 fights overseas, won gold medals in Ireland and Hungary, and fought in England versus USA kind of duel. So so I didn't have as many fights as some other people, but I definitely think that I've gotten a lot of experience.
You made the
within
best
those.
of that 65, 70 fights you got. That's for damn sure.
Definitely, for sure.
And then, of course, now as a pro, you've been pro for 5 years now. I know you just signed with Top Rank.
Yes, yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Were you guys signed with anybody else prior to that?
I was signed with my former manager, Bob Santos.
Gotcha.
Decided to part ways. I felt like I could have been more active. So we ended up signing with my new manager, Jay Prince. And Jay Prince works real closely with Top Rank, so he brought me to them and got me signed.
Very good.
Who's some of the names you've been sparring with? Some big names they would know.
The question is, who haven't I sparred? I've been there with a lot of people.
I thought I wasn't on the
Yeah,
list.
Shawn. I've sparred Ryan, Tank, Devin, Shakur.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you know, I've sparred a lot of people, Kenneth Sims, Bruce Carrington, the list goes on.
Yeah,
you know?
man. Yeah, man.
What have
Yeah.
they? What are some of the things, positive things they've told you, guys like Shakur, Devin, Ryan, everyone you mentioned, Tank?
They tell me without telling me. So like of course after sparring they give me tips and stuff on, you know, what I could have done better. But inside the ring, you know, they're teaching me a lot of things about myself. You know, what I need to be doing and what they're doing that I can use to up my game even more. And you know, it's a good gauge to see where my skills compare against some of the top guys that I've sparred, and you know, really know, like, you know, okay, I got to work on this to be at that level, or this is good, but I can get this better, so that I can one day be on that top level as well.
I thought that was cool. You said they tell me without telling me. How do you know, as a young fighter, that you earned a champion like that's respect? You know, because there's got to be a way you could tell if you didn't or if you did.
I think sometimes, like, you know, after sparring, you know, I'll go over and I'll ask, you know, like, hey, what could I have done better to you know, have done better in the sparring, or, you know, and I think they kind of like that. They show, I think it kind of shows them that, you know, I want to I want to be better, and not just be in there and spar these guys and, you know, just get the experience. I want to also, you know, learn from them and, you know, take pieces of their game and add it to mine and make myself better.
It's the callback too. You know when somebody feels that competitiveness in the ring, none of us want to be in the ring with somebody we can just push over. We always want to be in the ring with somebody who's making us think, making us make adjustments, making our eyebrows raise up. You know what I mean? Who have you been in the ring with, and they gave you that verbal confirmation, like, yo, that was it. Have you been in the ring with anybody that gave you that verbal confirmation, like, good work? You know what I mean?
Definitely. You know, I've sparred Shakur for multiple camps, and, you know, I think every time we get in there together, you know, it's a real chess match between the both of us, and we're both giving each other good work. So, you know, we're definitely making each other better, and it goes the same with a lot of other guys that I've sparred too. You know, a lot of top pros. I think once they see, like, you know, that I have a pretty high IQ level and skill level as well, I think, you know, it just, you know, makes them respect me as a fighter even more.
And always, I'm big on, you know, this is just a moment in life. I apologize, so you just lost your grandfather.
Yeah.
You're the third?
Yep.
So is your grandfather your dad?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Man, how special is it to be in this, like I told Shawn, it's a moment. Boxing is a moment. You get to end of the round, you get to turn around and see your father in the corner. How special is that, man?
It's it's the most special thing, you know, especially since he's also my coach too. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes he's my dad, sometimes he's my coach, but at the end of the day, when everything's done, he's my dad. So, you know, just having him as that backbone for me, and as a support system, you know, win or lose, you know, he's always proud of me. So every time I go in the ring, I carry that with me, and it makes me fight even harder. You know, like you said, my grandfather passed away not too long ago, and you know, this moment is everything that he would have wanted for me. You know, just, you know, doing what I love and fighting at that high level, and I think part of why I do this is to make him proud, and just to continue to make him proud too.
That's beautiful. What's next for you?
I got a fight coming up on Top Rank. It'll be my Top Rank debut, June 21st at the Fountain Blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to check you out on ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Yep.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Who's headlining that card?
Rafael Espinosa.
Okay.
The guy who beat Robesi.
Yeah.
Yep. I liked him, man. He's a good fighter.
Was your grandfather, was he from the Philippines, or was he born in the United
Yeah.
States?
He was born in the Philippines. Yep.
So I remember there's a video I had of DJ meeting Nonito Donaire. It was a couple years ago. Yeah. So to that point, man, is that I know you want to honor your grandfather and your father winning a title, carrying their name forward. Is that another thing in your mind too? Like we just talked about with these Ukrainian fighters, you know, becoming champions together, inspiring. You know, you're from the United States, but do you want to also keep that Filipino influence in boxing going.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a big part of me, what makes me me, and just carrying and continuing that legacy of, strong Filipino fighters and, just being a fighter in general. I feel like, it adds to my motivation knowing that, the other Filipino fighters, like Pacquiao and Donaire were great. It just makes me want to be on that level too and be the next.
Yeah.
And they could punch too. You got the thump like the Filipino champions.
I think I do. I mean that.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
Well, it'd be different now. He's grown into his grown man strength now, so it'd be different now. But yeah,
yeah, I was actually 15 when.
Were you that old?
Yeah, I was 15 years old.
Man.
War machine.
you had a growth
And
spurt,
then turned
bro.
pro when he was 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, I've known you forever, but I really don't remember sparring with you. What we do, like maybe 1 or 2 sessions?
Yeah.
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 It was just quick.
Yeah.
I probably, to my defense, I probably was training and didn't feel like training at that point. So it was like kind of going through the motions. But man, I'm honestly, man, I'm proud of you. When he told me you were coming in, nothing but good things to say about
Thank you.
And
I appreciate
and
it.
certainly congratulations signing with Top Rank.
Thank you.
It's a part of the game right now. You need a promoter.
Mm-hmm.
The promoter will get you ESPN Plus and all these other networks
And dates.
Dates. So I'm happy. 5 years with 13 fights. I'm happy to hear you. I'm sure you're gonna get going. And we look forward to seeing you on ESPN Plus and moving up from there.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. And congratulations with everything.
It's a dope haircut. What was that haircut called?
It's called a shag.
Don't
That's
encourage
what I thought
that
so.
old ass shag.
Yeah,
Errol Spence popularized it.
Yeah, I guess it's a. I guess
Did he
it's a
popularize it or did he just have
That's
it?
how I knew about it. Popularized it to me.
First time you changed it was versus Shawn.
See? So that's what this is about. I'm just kidding. I never did.
Shag, the old school shag. All right.
They call me Shaggy, from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
So I think the shag is better. Okay. Yeah. So
Listen, motivational message before we get out of here. I'm gonna pull from DJ, also from these. Congratulations to these Ukrainians, man. Don't let nothing stop you. There's a lot that comes at you. This young bull over here, I know there's been a lot that's come after him, especially in the 5 years and not being able to be as busy as he wants and things like that. You get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Don't allow what's going on in this world to distract you, to stop you from doing what you know you have the ability to do. Stay encouraged. Stay blessed. This is the PorterWay.